Guest or Atithi by Rabindranath Tagore. Part 4. Tarapada took no notice of Nandigram when they passed it. The large boat, sometimes with its sails up, sometimes towed, proceeded slowly on down rivers and tributaries, and the days of the passengers too flowed with a soft and easy pace through the peace and beauty of the scene. No one was in any kind of hurry. Long afternoons were spent bathing and eating, and as soon as dusk fell, the boat was moored at a village ghat by trees buzzing with crickets and aglow with fireflies. After about 10 days of this, the boat arrived at Kathalia. Ponies and a palanquin were sent from the house to receive the zamindar. A guard of honor with bamboo lathis fired rounds of blanks, raucously echoed by the village crows. Meanwhile, Tarapada slipped off the boat and quickly looked round the village. Calling one villager Dada, another Khuro, another Didi, and another Mashi, he established friendly relations with everyone in a couple of hours. Because he had no normal ties, he could get to know people with amazing ease and speed. Within a few days he had won all hearts. He mixed with everyone on equal terms. He was unconventional, yet able to adapt to any situation or work. With boys he was a boy, yet somehow separate and special. With older people he was not a boy, yet not too precautious either. With herders he was a herder, yet also a Brahmin. He joined in with things as if used to them all his life. He would be chatting in the sweet shop. The sweetmaker would say, "Could you mind the shop for a while? I shan't be long." Cool as a cucumber, Tarapada sat there keeping the flies off the sweetmeats with a leaf. He could even make sweets himself, knew something of weaving, and was not completely ignorant of how to turn a potter's wheel. Tarapada reigned over the whole village. There was just one young girl whose hatred he simply could not overcome. Perhaps it was because this girl so fiercely wished him to leave that he stayed on so long. But Charushoshi now proved how hard it is to fathom even a juvenile female mind. Bamun Thakurun's daughter, Shonamuni, had been widowed at the age of 5. She was Charu's playmate. She had been ill for a while and had not been able to go out to see her friend. When she recovered and came to see her again, a rift between them came about for almost no reason. Charu had been speaking at length about Tarapada. She hoped by saying what a precious asset he was to astonish and intrigue her friend. But when she discovered he was known to Shonamuni, that he called Bamun Thakurun Mashi and that Shonamuni called him Dada, when she heard that he not only treated mother and daughter to kirtan tunes on his flute, but had at Shonamuni's request made her a bamboo flute, that he had picked her fruits from high branches and flowers from thorny ones, when she heard all this, darts of fire stabbed her. She had thought of Tarapada as their Tarapada, guarded closely, so that ordinary people might glimpse him, yet never be able to grasp him. They would admire his beauty and talents from a distance, and Charushoshi's family would gain glory thereby. Why should Shonamuni have such easy contact with this singular, divinely favored Brahmin boy? If Charu's family had not taken him in, had not looked after him so, how would Shonamuni ever have seen him? Shonamuni's Dada indeed. She burned all over at the thought. Why was the Charu, who had tried to strike the boy down with arrows of hatred, so anxious to claim sole rights over him? Understand this who will. Later that day, Charu had a serious rift with Shonamuni over another trivial matter. She marched into Tarapada's room, found his beloved flute, and callously jumped and stamped on it. She was still doing so when Tarapada came in. He was amazed by the image of destruction that the girl presented. "Charu, why are you smashing my flute?" he asked. I want to smash it. I am going to smash it, shouted Charu with red eyes and flushed face, and stamping unnecessarily on the already smashed flute, she burst into loud sobs and ran from the room. Tarapada picked up the pieces, turned them this way and that, but it was useless. To wreak destruction on his old innocent flute was so absurd that he burst out laughing. Charushoshi intrigued him more every day. He was also intrigued by the English illustrated books in Motilal Babu's library. Tarapada had considerable knowledge of the world, but he could not enter the world of these pictures at all. He tried to do so in his imagination, but found no satisfaction in this. Seeing his interest in these books, Motilal said one day, "Would you like to learn English? You'll understand these pictures then." "I would like to learn it," he replied at once. Motilal Babu happily engaged the headmaster of the village secondary school, Ram Ratan Babu, to teach the boy English each evening.